Hey everybody, my name is Ashley Rush and I'm an independent creative memories advisor located in North Carolina. Today I have a really fun craft for you. We're going to put together a mini pop-up album or mini card depending on how you look at it. In order to complete this craft, you're going to need the custom cutting system including mat, blades, and jumbo circle, 4 sheets of cardstock, and some coordinating paper. I'm using Summertime. You'll also need a tape runner, and we'll be using traditional tape runner, not repositionable. Let's get started. To begin, we're going to use our custom cutting system, jumbo circle, and our cardstock to create 4 large circles. They need to be the same size. So in order to select our blade, we first kind of have to understand how they cut. The red blade cuts right along the edge. It's the one closest to your pattern, whether that's the inside or outside curve. Your blue goes beyond. That's going to be the widest circle you can make. Also, and if you're using the inside, it's going to be the smallest circle because it's going to go beyond the borders. And of course, green is in between. So that's going to cut right between the red and blue circles. So I'm going to use the blue blade to cut my cardstock, and then I'm going to use my red blades to cut my paper. Let's get started. If you've never used our custom cutting system before, it's very easy. These blades are so easy to use. They're actually tucked inside, and then you just snap them back into their covers to create a nice, easy to hold pattern. If you've not used our updated blades, it's been some time since they've been updated, but you'll definitely want to check out the rotating blade. It makes the cutting so easy. So I'm just going to put my cardstock onto my cutting mat, put my jumbo circle on top, and I want to make sure that these 2 little feet are going to go onto the outside track of my jumbo cutting circle. Once the feet are resting inside the track, you're just going to apply some light pressure, and we're going to pull that blade all the way around. It's important that you don't let your pattern move off of the mat because that's what will cause for your circle to shift. If you start to pull your paper away and you see that it didn't cut away in all the areas, you can either place your blade back in, or you could use your scissors to trim. Now you're just going to repeat this 3 more times so that you end up with 4 jumbo circles. Once you've cut your circles out of cardstock, it's time to cut circles out of decorative paper. Now these are what you're going to use to decorate your mini album in the end, so the color choices and patterns are really going to depend upon the theme of your mini album or card. I just went with some fun summertime colors in my daughter's school colors to celebrate the end of school for her teacher. Alright, so you repeat the pattern just the same as before. This time I'm going to show you that if you're a little braver, you can actually cut through multiple sheets of paper at once. You're just going to then make sure that the papers are lined up, put together. You're going to put your pattern right on top just like before. And this time I'm going to use the red blade so that it cuts a little bit smaller than my original cardstock circles. And as you can see, I was able to cut through 2 sheets of paper at once. Now you can repeat this for your other 2 sheets of paper. Now it's time to make the base for our pop-up album. We're going to take our large circles from cardstock and you're going to fold your circle in half. You want to try and get these folds as precise as possible. You could use the scoring blade on your trimmer, but I just find it easier to do this step by hand. So you're going to fold your circle in half lengthwise, open it up, and fold it in half the opposite way as well. This will create quarters. Once you have your cardstock circle folded into quarters, you're going to take a pair of scissors and you're going to follow the crease from one edge into the center. Once I've cut that crease, I have what kind of looks like a lily pad. I'm going to take my circle, make a quarter turn so that my cut is on my left-hand side. And this time, instead of following the crease, I'm going to go about 1 inch to the left. And I'm just going to cut there all the way to my previous cut line. So in the end, you're left with 3 full quarters and about a 1 inch strip. Now that you've cut this 1 inch flap, it's time to make one more fold. You see this piece of the pie that has the free edge? You're going to fold this in half so that this edge meets this one. You'll be making a smaller wedge. So just follow the curve and give yourself a crease. It's almost like you've got 2 small pieces of pizza and 2 large pieces of pizza. Repeat this with all of your cardstock bases. We're going to make one more cut before these bases are done. This 1 inch strip you have here is actually going to serve as a tab. To make it more tab-like, I'm just going to sort of cut off the edges so that I have more of a trapezoid instead of a rectangle. I'm not being super exact, just coming about 1 inch in and then cutting towards the corner. Now you can see how we're going to form our pop-up. We've already made this fold this way, but to help the card pop up more easily, I'm just going to reverse that fold so that our card will be good and flexible later. We have one more step before we start to assemble the card. Remember those jumbo circles you made out of decorative paper? Now it's time to cut those into quarters. This is what we're going to use to help decorate our album. You may even want to cut a couple of them in 8s so that we can easily cover up our smaller pieces of pizza. Now it's time to decorate. It's going to be easiest to do this while the pieces of your album are still able to be flat. You can experiment with leaving some of your cardstock exposed or wallpaper it all. It's really up to you. Feel free to add your own stickers and embellishments as well. You can also add pictures, journaling, whatever your heart's desire. Once you've decorated all of your cardstock bases, it's time to make this album pop. We'll start by adding some adhesive to our tab. No reason to be chintzy. You want this to hold. Then we're just going to guide that tab underneath of one of those skinny pizza slices. Make sure you bring the edge all the way to the crease. You can flip it over and make sure that you're really getting those pieces to adhere. You should wind up with something that looks like a quarter of a sphere. Make sure that your paper is still able to fold all the way down into a quarter circle. Repeat this with all of your slices of cardstock. Once you've decorated all of your wedges, it's time to start putting your album together. All you have to do is simply sort of determine which order you'd like your wedges to appear when they're all together. And then you're going to start taping them together, making sure to leave one edge untaped so that you're able to fold it down. So if I'm deciding that this will be my naked edge, I'm just going to start. Actually, no, I don't want that to be my naked edge because it's got that tab there. I want these to be my naked edges. So I'm going to fold this down and I'm going to heavily apply my tape runner refill all the way around. It's important that when you start to put them together, you make sure that the folded edges are facing the same direction. Once you've taped up the outsides, you just stick the quarters together. So now we have half of our album done. You'll repeat with the next wedge. Now, as you can see, I'm clearly using tape runner. If this is not a project that you care about remaining photo safe in the long run, glue could probably work just as well. But it is a little bit more messy and you'll have to worry about wait times. Now my album is fully assembled. When you want to display this on a table, you can take a paper clip and keep this shut, or just let gravity do its work. If you want, you can decorate the outside using what's left over of our quarter circles, or you could use mats, stickers, whatever you happen to have around. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial on how to make a beautiful pop-up mini album. If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And as always, if there's anything in this video that you are interested in purchasing, please visit www.creativememories.com/cm/AshleyRush or speak to your own advisor. Bye guys!